Sir, good morning, sir.
Okay. The host now. Just give me a second. I need to shift from this place. Okay, so we have around 29 participants. And what is your strength? 40, I believe.
39, sir.
39. But
Yes, sir.
your list shows 40. One fellow left, no? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What is his name? Which one? Satak Narang.
Yes, sir.
Satak Narang is 055, no? Satak Narang or Satak Sina? Who left?
Narang.
Okay. Any idea why he left?
Due to medical issue.
Medical issue means eyesight problem or something else? I can't hear you.
So he had an ankle problem.
What? I could understand
So he had an ankle injury.
ankle injury.
Yes, sir.
तो उसके लिए कोर्स छोड़ने की क्या जरूरत है? You can
No,
always
sir, he
attend.
was suffering from arthritis. And doctor told that he was medically unfit, and the college also told him that because arthritis was not curable. And doctor also told him that you can't do anything physical and all.
Okay. Arthritis or ulceritis? What you're talking about? Is it arthritis or ulceritis?
So arthritis.
Arthritis sets in old age, not in young people. पता नहीं आजकल
So he told me
proximity.
that.
नहीं,
Sir,
could be but
Meniscus tear,
tell
there
me.
would have been meniscus tear, so it is possible, sir.
Happens at this young age also.
Yes, sir. If there is meniscus tear, there is a soft cushioning in the forward part of the leg. So if that tears, then it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Then there would be no resistance to it.
Sad. Okay. Stop sharing this, and I will share the CHLP. Okay. So the subject which we are talking about is environmental studies. Session is 2021-22. You are in first year, semester 2. The course code as per IMU is UG21T5206 and requires 80 hours. Out of that, 60 is theory hours plus tutorial 15 hours and practical 5 hours. I am going to be in charge of this course, and I am the sole member of, there are no faculty team. So I'm Captain Sarfaraz Lakdawala. I'm teaching in this college since last 2011 I joined, so almost 12 years. Before that, I was teaching in TS Rahman, that is in Mumbai. And before that, during my sailing time in the holidays, I used to go as a visiting faculty to TS Chanakya also. And before that, I was purely sailing. And before that, I was a student like you. So now, this one boring subject has been given to me. It is boring, but important from the perspective that it contains some part of the marine meteorology, which you will have to go through. Very simple subject. You can read the notes and you can pass the exam. I'm sure you must have done EVS in your college.
Yes, sir.
EVS was a compulsory subject. I think ICSE it is not compulsory. You have a choice, but I think it should be made compulsory for all because it's the need of the hour now. In fact, it was the need of the hour 1 decade back, but people are not heading up. They are still not bothered about the environment, the climate change, the global warming. So awareness among the people is going to be the most important thing. And here, this is your EVS in detail. Your EVS up to 10+2 was not so detailed. Here, this is in detail. So what are the goals to achieve out of this is to know about the multidisciplinary nature of the environmental studies, to know natural resources and associated problem. We all know that natural resources are depleting fast. Understand concept and various types of ecosystems, to understand biodiversities and why should it be conserved, first of all. Understand the various types of environmental pollutions, their effects, know the social issues in the environment, human population and the environment. So these are few factors which you need to understand. And mostly this is a program for awareness. If you are educated, if you are aware, there are chances that you will make a difference. But if nobody tells you, then nobody is going to bother to study environmental science. Any of you had ever thought of taking environmental science as a subject after 10+2? No. So that only shows that nobody is bothered about this subject. इसमें job नहीं मिलता, government में job रहता है. But let me tell you, my son is in 12th standard now. He's right now leaving for his practical board exams, and he's interested in this topic. And he's planning to pursue after 10+2 environmental science.
Awareness is lesser.
Awareness is not there because, see, now if they make it compulsory for everybody, then the awareness will increase because it's not only at 10+2 level, I am talking about it should be in the elementary schools also, start from there itself. In India, there are a lot of cities which do take care of this, Kerala being one of them. I visited Kerala, I saw they have banned plastic bags, long bags. Those panni, they are no longer available there and actually not available. In Maharashtra also plastic bags are banned, but they are available very easily. Then Kerala was the first one to segregate the garbage in India. And that's because of the education system over there. These are the issues which have to be addressed to and followed by the higher top management. Then automatically it will trickle down. Anyways, we'll study about those problems also. So multidisciplinary nature of the environment studies, definition, scope, importance, need for public awareness. That is what we were talking in brief now. What is the need? Why the need is there? Then your second module is natural resources. These are forest resources, use of these natural resources, in fact, overuse, exploitation, deforestation, timber extraction, mining, building up of dams. And these are all things which are affecting the forest and the tribal people who are there in the forest. So the second form of resources is the water resources. India may I have not seen a clean water body any place. जहां पानी दिखता है वहां कपड़े धोने लगते हैं लोग, भैंस को नहलाने लगते हैं. And these are the sights which come in my imagination when I think about water body in India. Okay, so awareness is not there. People don't understand. I'm sure you all must have also seen. Is there any water where you feel like going and swimming? I'm not talking about the swimming pool. They are also water body, but I'm talking about natural water body. Beaches are dirty. Rivers are polluted. So same concept was there all over the world about 30 years back, when people used to think that you throw anything in the sea. And sea is so vast, 70% of the or more of the Earth's structure. So it can take anything. Any shit you put in, any garbage you put in, any oil you throw in. But 30 years back, this changed and they started now conserving the sea. In fact, the rules with respect to marine pollution are more stricter than the rules with respect to land pollution. So water resources overuse of water because of the population, groundwater, floods, droughts, conflicts over water, benefits and problems of the dams. Mineral resources, these are exploited. Yes, it should be exploited. They are meant for us, but over exploitations. Then exporting minerals from one place to another. Food resources, very interesting. Food problems all throughout the world with respect to agriculture, overgrazing of the fields. Modern agriculture affects fertilizers, pesticides, use of that. Problems with waterlogging, salinity in the water. And then we'll be doing some case studies with respect to each one of them. Energy resources, more and more demand for energy is there. And you can see the energy resources are depleting. So we are now turning towards the renewable energy. Non-renewable energy have to be conserved, otherwise they will be extinct. And use of alternate energy, like you have seen in the past 20 years, the solar energy, the wind energy is being now trapped and utilized for daily purposes. Land resources, land degradation, man-induced landslides, man-induced landslides, soil erosions, desertification, role of individuals in conserving of natural resources. So once you are aware, then there are chances that you may act accordingly and conserve these natural resources. But if you are not aware, it is like ignorance is bliss. So the idea here is to make as many people aware about this as possible. What is sustainable and equitable energy? You need to understand what are sustainable energy and what is equitable energy. Once you understand, then move further into different fields to explore more. Now, as of now, we being in the third world country, we do not really bother about these things because we have other problems. But developed countries are putting a lot of efforts to combat these problems, and the responsibility of taking care of the Mother Earth has been proportionately put on the developed countries. I don't know why. Because most of the pollution is taking place in the underdeveloped countries, but responsibility is given to the developed countries. So what happens is, why this is taking place in the third world countries is because these developed countries, they don't pollute their own land, but they buy those things which are manufactured in the third world countries. And that's the reason the third world countries are blamed for polluting the Mother Earth more than any other developed countries. So we will talk about that in detail later. Your third topic is ecosystem. And there are so many ecosystems. Out of that, we are going to study in detail uh, the forest ecosystem, the grassland ecosystem, the desert ecosystem. Okay. And what is an ecosystem? We need to understand that first. I'm sure you must have studied in school. Then how the structure and how it functions. What are the products? Who are the consumers of this ecosystem? Who are the decomposers? How the energy flows in the ecosystem? How it gets disturbed when human intervention takes place. Then ecological successions, food chain, food webs, ecological pyramids, how they get disturbed. Introduction to the types, characteristic features, structures, and function of the following ecosystems. So you can see that these are the three which we are going to study in detail, and some of the aquatic ecosystems like pond, stream, lake, rivers, oceans, and estuaries. There are underwater ecosystems also, which we are not dealing it in now. Then your fourth topic is biodiversity and its conservation. So what is biodiversity? What is the definition? What is the genetic species involved in the ecosystem? Geographical classification of India, where we stand with respect to this. We need to study that. Then value of the biodiversity, consumption, use, products, productive use, social and ethical, aesthetic and optional values of this biodiversity, global and national, as well as local level, how it takes place. India as a mega diversity nation, where do we really make a difference? Hotspots of biodiversity, hotspots, spots. Okay. Hotspots of biodiversity, threats to biodiversity due to loss of habitat, poaching of wildlife animals, wildlife conflicts, then endangered species, endemic species. We are going to speak about the Indian scenario, and conservation of biodiversity. Your fifth topic is environmental pollution. You all are aware of what is pollution. So different water pollution, air pollution, soil pollution, marine pollution, noise pollution, thermal pollution, nuclear hazards. Now, all these pollutions are very easy to understand for us because all of them are present in India and they are present everywhere in the world, but not very prominent to understand it. Air pollution, yes. Anybody from Delhi? Nobody from Delhi. Okay. So so supposed to be the most polluted state in India. Then we have Mumbai stands second. So these are metro cities which are the ones responsible for pollution. Okay, on the name of progress, a lot of pollution is taking place. Water pollution, soil pollution, marine pollution, noise pollution. Noise pollution के बारे में nobody talks in India. Everybody is free to put a loudspeaker. शादी है loudspeaker, बच्चा हो गया loudspeaker, cricket match है loudspeaker, political rally है loudspeaker. The easiest and cheapest way of creating noise pollution or nuisance is the loudspeaker. Okay. So everywhere, I don't know, we want to be loud to reach out to the maximum people, thinking that you are going to influence them in a positive way. That is again a myth. Solid waste management. This is again a problem in the urban areas where you can see metro cities. The municipal corporation is not able to control or manage this waste management. And it's need of the hour to some of the cities have been able to manage it by taking a lot of efforts, and they have been awarded for that. Then how a individual can play his own bit to prevent the pollution. Then we'll do case studies, some part of disaster management for floods, earthquakes, cyclones, landslides. Now, all these floods, earthquakes, cyclones, and landslides, they were always considered as act of God. But if you go dig into deeper, you will find that we humans are also contributing it in the act of God. So the sixth topic is social issues and environment. We have the urban problems related to energy, water conservation, rainwater harvesting. Now, if you see in the urban cities, rainwater harvesting has been made compulsory for every establishment or every building or every society. It has been made very, very much compulsory. Without that, you do not get permission for making a building. And once you have made, if you still don't make it, then you don't get an occupancy certificate. But if you see in the beginning, yes, it is there. And how many buildings do actually have this rainwater harvesting in operation? I would like to take a poll on this from you guys because we are almost about 30 odd people over here, 33 people. So can you tell me, anybody, whether in your building or your independent house, do you have this in operation?
No, sir.
No, Tushar says no. Anybody who has in operation, you can raise your hand. So it's just for the sake of getting a certificate or permission to make a building and then to allow people to live into it, but it is never operational. Okay. So not much of use in spite of having it in the law. Then comes the climate change, global warming, acid rains, depleting ozone layer, nuclear accidents, and Holocaust. Now, nuclear accidents, if you all are aware that the last nuclear disaster was the big last nuclear disaster was the Hiroshima Nagasaki, where Americans bombed them with nuclear bomb. And the effect of that, even after 40 years, is 40, 50 years, more, I think. Yeah. We were not born. The effect of that is still being noticed in those lands. So just understand what it can happen if all these countries who have made nuclear weapons, they start, that means they're going to destroy the mankind by directly or indirectly. Wasteland reclamation, consumerism and waste products, environment protection, air prevention and control of pollution, water prevention and control of pollution, wildlife protection, forest conservation, issues involved in enforcement of environmental legislation, and public awareness. This is most important part. If this is done, the rest of all can be done. That's the other 50% job. Population growth, this is a problem. Some nations, yes, it is a problem because they are going into negative population growth, and some nations are still going strong with positive growth. Population explosion, family welfare programs, these are again to be educated to people. I don't know, when I was young, we used to have only one channel on the TV, and that channel used to be uh, promoting family planning advertisements every now and then. Now I don't see that. Okay, not on any channel. Maybe they still show on Doordarshan, but we don't watch that, so we don't know about it. Environment and human health, human rights, value education, HIV, AIDS, women and child welfare, the role of information technology in environment and human health, and then case studies. There is a module for fieldwork in this subject. Yet you have to visit a local area to document environmental assets, rivers, forests, grasslands, hills, mountains. Visit a local polluted site, which won't be very difficult. It will be very near to you. Whether you are in urban or rural area, doesn't matter, industrial or agricultural area. Study of common plants, insects, birds, study of simple ecosystem, pond, river, hills, slopes, etc. The ninth module is Earth's atmosphere. I'm sure some elementary part has been done in the schools. The structure of the atmosphere, we'll be studying that now. From ninth onwards, you will see it is purely your related to your meteorology subject, which you are going to study in future. Actually, this subject, maritime, this what you call environmental studies, was part of second year. They have now brought it in first year, and second year is more of meteorology. So in second year, this meteorology subject is there, which consists of this. So this is part of that: atmosphere composition, physical properties, vertical layers of atmosphere, check names of those: troposphere, tropopause, stratosphere, stratopause, mesosphere, mesopause, and thermosphere. Insolation, saturation, evaporation, condensation, latent heat, and vapor pressure, ozone depletion, air pollution, radiation loss, emission, reflection, absorption, and scattering, solar and terrestrial radiations, greenhouse effect. You must have studied a little with respect to global warming, heat exchange processes, where three processes, three ways of doing that: conduction, convection, and radiations. Radiation budgets of the Earth atmosphere system, environmental lapse rate and inversion, diurnal, seasonal, and geographic variation of temperatures, dry adiabatic lapse rate, and saturated adiabatic lapse rate. So this part, module 9, is purely from your meteorology book. Then also 10, that is atmospheric pressure. What is the atmospheric pressure? What are the units to measure it? What is the barometric tendency? Barometer is an instrument used for measuring the atmospheric pressure. What are isobars, isolalobars, and the relationship between atmospheric pressure and the height above the sea level? As you grow, as you go above, away from the sea level, at greater heights, the pressure increases or decreases? Very simple question. if you go on the Mount Everest, the pressure will be more, or if you are at sea, the pressure will be more. Where will it be more?
At sea.
At sea. So what can we conclude? As the height increases, the pressure
Decreases.
decreases. Yes. So horizontal and vertical distribution of atmospheric pressure and the resulting circulation, diurnal variation of pressure. Then comes the topic number 11. This is also from meteorology. The wind, how the wind is measured as per the Beaufort wind scale, and geostrophic wind gradient and cyclostrophic wind, pressure gradient, Coriolis force, Bias-Ballard's law, true and apparent wind, and its vector calculation, interpretation of the windrows. Windrows is something which is there on your nautical charts. Have you seen a nautical chart yet? How it looks like? No?
No, sir.
Okay, you will have a topic called chart work in which you have no choice but to go through the nautical chart. And then there are windroses, how to interpret them and how to read the wind. I will show you that. Then topic number 12 is clouds and precipitation. Formation of clouds. What are the different types of clouds? How many different types of clouds are there? Any idea? Or did you not even know that there are different types of clouds? कोई मोटा, कोई पतला, कोई काला, कोई गोरा, ऐसा होता है क्लाउड्स में?
Sir, only
Yes, sir.
2, 3 we know.
Only
2, 3 we know.
Only a few of them.
Colombo
Okay.
nimbus and all.
cumulonimbus. Okay.
Yes.
So there are at least 9 different types and subtypes under it. We'll study that. Then how to identify them, at what height they are typically found, what are their shapes, how they look in appearance. Okay. Precipitation, drizzle, hail, snow, sleet, dew. In second year syllabus, when this was in second year syllabus, there was 2 more module. One was visibility and the other one was forgot what it was. Precipitation, I think. The precipitation to has visibility and so those have been removed in your syllabus now. The reference books, the textbooks which are recommended for you as per the IMU are the environmental studies for undergraduates, course of all branches of higher education, written by Iraq Barucha. A soft copy of this is already uploaded on your Moodle. You can download from there. Marine Meteorology by Captain Ned Subramaniam. This is one of the nutshell series book out of the many which Captain Subramaniam has written. I have studied that and done my cadetship and studies. So these are very good, helpful books, though Captain Subramaniam is no longer with us now, but his books are. Reference books, there are many, a list of huge. If you see the IMU syllabus on the website, has anybody seen the IMU syllabus on the website for your second semester? No?
No, sir.
I will show you. So, environmental studies, the marine meteorology by mariners, HMSO. It is Her Majesty ship. Her Majesty SO क्या है? No, I forgot. Marine handbooks, which are made for mariners. NP 100 is the number of the book. NP stands for Nautical Publication, and these are from the Admiralty. Cloud types of observers, again HMSO. So these are the some reference books which I have kept, otherwise the list is long. Internal assessment as per guidelines issued by IMU. There will be 30 marks of internal assessment, 70 marks of external assessment, like the first semester. 30 marks will include your first class test, which is for 10 marks, second class test, 10 marks, and your teacher's assessment, which is further broken down into assignments, your behavior, attendance, and attentiveness during the class. So there are so many factors which are going to decide those 10 marks of yours. And obviously the class tests are going to decide the 20 marks. Then the end semester examination, that is the final theory exam, is going to be for 70 marks. So 30 plus 70 is 100. You need to get at least 50% in the external examination. That means out of 70, you have to get at least 35 marks. And total, you must get at least 50 marks. That means internal plus external milake to pass successfully. Any questions? If you have, you can ask me now. So no questions. Very good. In the beginning of the semester, you have no questions, but at the end of the semester, you have a lot of questions. So I would encourage you to ask questions as and when they come in your mind, rather than waiting till the last moment. Okay. Now, tomorrow we have a class again. So I want you to read this, what do you call it as, the first module. I would like you to log into Moodle. If not all, at least few of you can log into Moodle and see whether the course is accessible to you. And see if you can download any stuff. Just a test run, we'll give a test run to it. Otherwise, last moment, there should not be a problem. Both those textbooks which are recommended here are e-copies are available on the Moodle. You can download from there. And the all the notes are also already uploaded on Moodle. And from time to time, I will keep adding more. So I want you to study this multidisciplinary nature of environmental studies for tomorrow. Okay. There will be tutorials which I will give you in different forms. There will be quiz with respect to the topics. And there will be tests, obviously, which are your class test 1 and 2. Past question papers are also there on the Moodle. You can always start looking at those first so that you know what type of questions you should be asking during the class. So the material is there.
The course content is available. We can download it from Moodle.
Yeah, okay. 41, 48, 51, 51, 65, 68, 79. Why are these people not present? They're traveling.
Yes, sir. Most of them are traveling.
So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, and our strength is 32. So our 32 plus 31, actually, 1 is myself. 31 and 7 is 38. Your strength is 39. So one fellow is missing. Maybe he's logged out. So 41 is absent. 28. Preetam, are you there? Ranbir? Narang is absent. Good. 65 is Sumedara. Ravi. 68. Swastik Rautri. 79. युवराज सिंह दो है. अरे एक तो जाओ उधर टीम में, सब इधर आ जाए तो कैसे हम लोग जीते? Now, how to identify these same name? Okay, that number is given. Let's write Yuvraj Singh 1, Yuvraj Singh 2. Okay. Any questions from your side?
No, sir.
Okay, then
No,
I will
sir.
ask. I will ask questions. How many of you think you are intelligent? Please raise your hand. Not like this on the Zoom platform. You know how to raise the hand. You know how to raise the hand on the Zoom platform. There's a symbol there. You have to just click on that. Oh, that's sad. इसका मतलब मैं गधों को पढ़ाने वाला हूँ. Out of these 32, 31, not a single person is considering himself intelligent. सबके सब गधे हैं. Oh, very bad. Okay. Bansal, can you tell me why do you think you are not intelligent? Mr. Bansal, can you read me?
Yes, sir.
Bansal. Can
Yes,
you give
sir.
me one reason why do you think you are not intelligent?
No, sir. I think I am intelligent enough.
Then why don't you raise your hand?
So I think we shouldn't judge ourselves as intelligent or something that would stop our limits, like for learning.
That is the worst thing you can do to yourself.
Bansal.
That
Worst thing.